العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, welcome to another episode of series Self-Reformation. Today, inshallah, we're going to be learning about a beautiful prophetic way. And what is it? Inshallah, we'll find out shortly. Let's listen to the blessing of Durood Pak first. Sheikh Majduddin Firozabadi, rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, has stated, when you sit in a gathering and recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa sallallahu ala Muhammad, Allah Azza wa Jalla will designate an angel that will keep you from backbiting. When you depart from that gathering and recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa sallallahu ala Muhammad, the angel will keep others from backbiting against you. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. What a beautiful combination to save yourself from the sin of ghibat, from the sin of backbiting, and save others from the sin of backbiting as well. Reciting Bismillah Sharif with Durood Pak. Subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sayyidina Abdullah bin Mubarak rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi divided his life into three parts. 1 year, he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi would go to perform Hajj. 1 year, he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi would go to participate in a battle. And 1 year, he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi would give dars of Islamic knowledge. Once, he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi participated in a battle in which Muslims were not able to conquer the fort of the unbelievers. Worried about it, he fell asleep and saw in a dream that the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam saying, "O Abdullah, what are you worried about?" Sayyidina Abdullah bin Mubarak rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi replied, "Ya Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, we are trying our best but unable to conquer this fort. I'm worried about it." And the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, "Perform wudu with miswak." Sayyidina Abdullah bin Mubarak rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi awoke from the dream, performed wudu with miswak, and ordered everyone to use miswak as well. When the security guard of the fort saw the Ghazis, the title of a Muslim fighting against non-Muslims, using miswak, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a fear into his heart. He went downstairs and told the chief of the fort, "The army down there seems to be man-eaters. They are sharpening their teeth so that they can eat us after defeating us." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this terror into their heart, and they sent a messenger to Muslims with a message, "Do you want wealth or life?" Sayyidina Abdullah bin Mubarak rahmatullahi ta'ala replied, "We neither want your money nor life. You all embrace Islam, you will get salvation. By virtue of blessing of this sunnah," meaning by virtue of the blessing of miswak, they all embraced Islam and became Muslims. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, by virtue of blessing of one sunnah, not only did Muslims achieve victory, but the enemies also embraced Islam and became Muslims. No doubt, our victory and success lies in the beautiful way of Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Our success lies in adopting sunnah. Our success lies in following the actions of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. If we want to regain the lost glory and dignity and dominance, we will have to practice every sunnah of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in chapter 21, Surah Al-Ahzab, verse number 21, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Translation from Kanzul Iman, indeed, following the noble Rasul of Allah is better for you. Mufti Naimuddin Muradabadi rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, obey him well and help the religion Islam. Do not stop supporting the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, and be patient on troubles and follow the sunnah of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. These acts are better. Regarding this blessed ayah, on page 671 of Tafsir Nur al-Irfan, Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan Naimi rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, it has become obvious that the blessed life of beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam is a role model for all humans, covering every aspect of life. It also signifies that Allah Azza wa Jal has made the blessed life of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam a model of his divinity. A skilled worker uses all his skills on a sample. It has become clear that the successful life is the one which is spent by following in the footsteps of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. If we perform all of our deeds by following the footstep of beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, so these deeds will become worship. Islamic scholars have said the true believer who possesses these attributes, meaning obedience to the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, expectation from Allah and zikr of Allah Azza wa Jalla in abundance, he will have a very good time in the world and the hereafter, because he will be blessed with patience on troubles and thankfulness in comfort. The beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam himself said, the best path is the path of Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, practicing Sunnah is the source of having complete faith and attaining the closeness to the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam in Jannah, in paradise. Every Muslim will desire to attain these blessings. Therefore, we should study attentively these sayings, deeds, circumstances, and the blessed life history of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam, the blessed actions of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam, and should spend our life by obeying him and acting upon his sunnah. Sayyidina Sahal bin Abdullah Tustari rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, the sign of loving Allah is to love the Holy Quran, and the sign of loving the Holy Quran is to love the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam. The sign of loving the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam is to love his blessed sunnah, and sign of loving the blessed sunnah is to love the hereafter, and the sign of loving the hereafter is to bear enmity towards the world. Our pious saints would love very much the sunnah of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam, and would not even care for their possessions in order to perform them. Sayyidina Abdul Wahab Sha'arani rahmatullahi ta'ala, what a beautiful example he set in order to follow the sunnah. Once Sayyidina Abu Bakr Shibli Baghdadi rahmatullahi ta'ala felt the need of a miswak during wudu. He looked for it but could not find it. Therefore he rahmatullahi ta'ala bought a miswak for a dinar, for one gold coin, and used it. Some people said, you have spent so much. Who pays so much for miswak? Should someone spend so much for a miswak? He rahmatullahi ta'ala replied, undoubtedly, this world, along with all that it contains, do not worth even that of the wing of a mosquito in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. What will I answer if on the day of judgment, Allah will ask me, whatever wealth and possessions I gave you was not even equal to a wing of a mosquito before me. So why didn't you spend such insignificant wealth on accomplishing the great sunnah of miswak? Sayyidina Abu Bakr Shibli rahmatullahi ta'ala would strictly follow sunnah. He rahmatullahi ta'ala would do every work according to sunnah. Even at the time of his demise, he rahmatullahi ta'ala did not miss sunnah. Sayyidina Abdullah bin Ali Tamimi rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, I asked the servant, Sayyidina Jafar bin Nusayr Bakran Dainuri rahmatullahi ta'ala, of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Shibli rahmatullahi ta'ala, what did you see in Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullahi ta'ala at the time of his demise? He replied, Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullahi ta'ala told me, I had to pay debt of 1 dirham to a distressed person, but I did not know him. I have given sadaqah of thousands of dirham on behalf of him. I have no other worry greater than this. He further said, help me perform wudu for salah. I helped him perform wudu, but forgot the khilal of the beard. He rahmatullahi ta'ala had lost his voice at that time. That's why he held my hand and made it enter my beard so that I could make khilal of his beard. Then he rahmatullahi ta'ala passed away. Having mentioning this, Sayyidina Jafar started weeping and said, what do you say about that person who did not miss any of the sunnah of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam, even in the last stage of his life? Allahu Akbar. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, our pious saints, rahimahumullahu ta'ala, would worship Allah Azza wa Jal and follow the sunnah of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam regularly. Death throes could not reduce the enthusiasm and passion for acting upon the sunnahs. That is why they have attained such an exalted and elevated rank by the bestowal of Allah Azza wa Jal, that the Islamic world has accepted them as their imams, and Muslims will continue to pay tribute to them. Under such circumstances, the fortunate individuals who followed the sunnah of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam and acted upon the sunnah which were being practicing by very few people in the mortal worldly life of few days, so inshallah Azza wa Jal, they will be given a good news of forgiveness and entrance into paradise on the day of judgment. This blessed hadith has been mentioned in a book published by Maktabatul Madina, a publication department of Dawat-e-Islami. The name of the book is Saya-e-Arsh Kisko Milega. It is stated, Sayyidina Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated, Mu'mineen Sayyidina Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu ta'ala anha humbly requested the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Ya Rasulallah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, who will be close to Allah Azza wa Jal in the valleys of paradise? The beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam replied, the one who revives my sunnah and will remove the trouble of my distressed follower, meaning ummati. These sunnahs will take him to paradise after saving him from all the troubles. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, following the footsteps of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, acting upon the sunnah of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, it yields what a great reward that Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam has said that these sunnahs will take him to paradise after saving him from all the troubles. And who can imagine the troubles of the hereafter? Allahu Akbar. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, Miswaak means rub. It is an instrument of rubbing teeth. In Sharia, Miswaak is a piece of wood that is used to clean teeth. It is a sunnah that Miswaak should not be from a tree that produces fruit or flower, but rather it should be from a tree having bitter taste. Thickness of Miswaak should be equal to that of the little finger. It should not be longer than one hand span. It should be used to brush teeth horizontally, not vertically. A toothless person and women should move clean with their finger. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, it is mustahab for women to use sakra or missi, a tree bark, instead of miswak. They should clean their teeth with a finger because their gums are weak. Using miswak is a sunnah on these occasions, during wudu, before reciting the Holy Quran, when teeth become yellow, when bad smell comes from their mouth due to hunger, or being quiet for a long time, or after waking up. Miswak is a very important sunnah which has been highly emphasized to be practiced. Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma has narrated, the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, no doubt I have been commanded for miswak so much that I fear that a revelation is sent to me about miswak. Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma has narrated, once someone humbly said to the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, this time Jibreel alayhi salam has taken so much time to come to you. The beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, why should he not delay, as you people sitting around me do not use miswak, cut nails, trim mustache and clean the roots of your fingers. Sayyidina Abu Umama has narrated that the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, use miswak because miswak has purification of the mouth and the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. When Sayyidina Jibreel came to me, he advised me to use miswak to such an extent that I feared that it should become a fard for me and for my ummah. And if I did not have the fear of my ummah's struggle, I would have made the use of miswak fard for them. And undoubtedly, I use miswak to such an extent that I fear that I will waste my front teeth. Allahu Akbar. Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karramallahu ta'ala wajhahu al-kareem has narrated, the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam would have made the use of miswak fard with every wudu, and in some narrations the word fard have also been found. Sayyidina Abu Huraira and Sayyidina Zayd bin Khalid Juhani radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma have narrated, the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam would have ordered to use miswak with every salah. That is, the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam would have made it fard, mandatory. That is, there would have been no salah without using, meaning brushing the teeth with miswak. It has been learnt that Allah Azza wa Jal made the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam the one who commands that it is up to him whether he makes something fard or not. This tells us about the authority of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, that he can make an action fard, and if he does not will, he does not make an action fard. Allahu Akbar. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu has said, since I heard this saying of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, I use miswak before going to bed, after getting up, and before eating a meal. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated that the blessed companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum used to keep miswak on their ears and used to brush teeth with miswak before every salah. It is stated by Sayyidina Zayd bin Khalid Juhani radiallahu ta'ala anhu that he used to come to masjid with a miswak on his ear as a pen is seen on the ear of a munshi, meaning a clerk. Whenever he radiallahu ta'ala anhu offered salah, he used brushing teeth with miswak first and then kept it at the same place. Sayyidina Abdul Wahab Sha'arani rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, we were asked to make promise to use miswak regularly before performing every wudu. Sayyidina Abu Ayyub radiallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated that the beloved and blessed Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam said, 4 things are amongst the sunnah of Anbiya. Number 1, modesty. Number 2, applying fragrance. Number 3, miswak. And number 4, nikah, meaning Islamic marriage. Sayyidina Abu Umama radiallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated that the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam has said, whenever Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam came to me for teaching sunnah on behalf of Allah Azza wa Jal, he asked me to use miswak. Due to his act of humble saying it repeatedly, I fear that I peel the front part of my mouth. Sayyidina Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated, the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa wasallam has said, I have asked repeatedly and advised you in every way to use miswak. Sometimes I mention its religious advantages and sometimes worldly. Furthermore, I have always practiced it so that you always use miswak too. It has been learned that using, meaning brushing teeth with miswak, is not fard. Otherwise, the manner of mentioning it would have been different. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, it has been elaborated in a blessed hadith that the use of miswak has the goodness of the world and religion. Remember, here miswak means a Muslim's use of miswak with the intention of worship, with the intention of following the sunnah of the Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wa wasallam. Unbelievers brushing their teeth with miswak, and the miswak of a Muslim who uses only to clean their teeth, though it will clean the mouth, but it will not become the means of attaining Allah's pleasure. Further, though miswak has both religious and worldly advantages, only 2 advantages have been mentioned. Number 1 is cleanliness of mouth, strengthens the stomach, and brings salvation from countless diseases. And the best of all, if Allah is pleased, then what deficiency is left? Remember, we came into this world to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes pleased with those who use miswak with the intention of following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wa sallam. The beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wa sallam said, when any one of you stands at night to offer salah, he should clean his teeth with a miswak, because when he recites the Quran, an angel places his mouth on his, and anything coming out of his mouth enters the mouth of that angel. Allahu Akbar. It has been narrated by Sayyidina Abu Ayyub Ansari radiallahu ta'ala anhu, there is nothing more troublesome for both angels than seeing the companion offering salah with pieces of food stuck in his teeth. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, this blessed sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wa sallam was followed by Sahaba Ikram, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wa sallam, and our pious predecessors. Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma has narrated, there are 10 virtues of miswak. It cleans the mouth, strengthens the gum, strengthens the eyesight, removes phalgem, removes bad breath. It is in accordance with the sunnah. The angels become happy. Allah becomes pleased. It increases virtue and restores the stomach to health. Sayyidina Imam Azam Abu Hanifa Nu'man bin Thabit radiallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated, miswak is from the sunnah of Islam. Sayyidina Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi has said, 4 things increase the intelligence: abstain from useless talks, the use of miswak, the company of pious people, and acting upon the knowledge one possesses. Mu'mineen Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu ta'ala anha has narrated, when the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam would give me the miswak for use and washing, I would use it myself at first for attaining blessings, and then after washing I would give it to the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Ala Hazrat rahmatullahi ta'ala has said, for women, miswak is the sunnah of Mu'mineen Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu ta'ala anha, but there is no harm if they do not use it. As compared to men, the teeth and gums of women are weak. For them, missy, a kind of herbal tooth powder, is sufficient. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, miswak has countless worldly and the hereafter benefits. It contains many components which protect the teeth from every type of infection. Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza, Sayyidina Ata, and Sayyidina Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhum have said, use of miswak strengthens memory, cures headache, and relaxes the vein in the head. It eliminates phlegm, improves eyesight, rectifies stomach, and helps digest food. It fortifies intellect, increases the number of the birth of one's children, delays aging, and strengthens the back. So many benefits, both worldly and the hereafter, that one can acquire by the use of miswak, by following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. We complain about loss of memory, we complain about I can't remember anything. Start using miswak. Inshallah Azza wa Jal, this use of miswak, following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, will strengthen the memory. Mu'mineen Sayyidah Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu ta'ala anha has said, miswak is a cure for every disease except death. Allahu Akbar. A cure for every disease has been given to us. And what is it? It's miswak. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated, miswak increases the eloquence of one's speech. Allahu Akbar. Amir al-Mu'mineen Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karramallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem have said, three things improves the memory and removes phlegm: using miswak, observing Saum, and reciting the Holy Quran. Allahu Akbar. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, it has been narrated about Sayyidina Ibrahim Nakhai rahmatullahi ta'ala, who was a renowned and great tabi'i and was one of the greatest teachers of Sayyidina Imam Azam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala. It is said about him that whatever he rahmatullahi ta'ala studied, he would forget. One day, he rahmatullahi ta'ala saw the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam in his dream and humbly requested, O Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, whatever I study, I forget. I cannot remember a thing. The beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said, do these things regularly. Eat less, sleep less, recite the Holy Quran abundantly, offer salah abundantly, perform a new wudu for every salah, and use miswak for every wudu. Sayyidina Ibrahim Nakhai rahmatullahi ta'ala stated, when I woke up and acted upon the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, after some time I became the Imam and spiritual leader of the people. Allahu Akbar. What a great blessing of following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, following the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that an individual who could not remember anything even after studying became the Imam and became the spiritual leader of the people. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, miswak pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the use of miswak brings about worldly benefits as well. One of the benefits are miswak is a means of attaining the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Angels get pleased with the one who uses miswak. One who uses miswak acts upon a sunnah. Miswak increases the thawab, reward of salah. Using miswak removes satanic thoughts. Miswak will serve as a companion in the grave of the miswak using person. The grave of miswak using person is extended at the time of his death. Miswak reminds him of kalima. Allahu Akbar. The soul of the fortunate miswak using person leaves his body easily during death throes. Angels shake hand with the fortunate person who uses miswak. Using miswak makes the heart pure. The arsh holding angels pray for the forgiveness of the miswak using person. If a person goes to salah after making wudu with miswak, angels follow him. Allahu Akbar. Shaitan gets away and displeased because of miswak. The one who uses miswak regularly will cross the bridge of Sirat with the speed of light. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, the bridge of Sirat is thinner than a strand of hair and sharper than a sword. but the one who uses miswak regularly will cross the bridge of Sirat with the lightning speed, with the speed of light. The miswak using person is blessed with courage and strength to obey Allah Azza wa Jal. The doors of paradise are open for the one who uses miswak. The doors of hell are closed for the one who uses miswak. In order to remove the soul of the one who uses miswak, the angel of the death comes in the same appearance in which he goes to the Anbiya Ikram alayhimus salatu wassalam and great pious saints. The one who uses miswak will be privileged to drink that wine from the paradise. He will drink it from the pond of Kauthar of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. The worldly benefits, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, that miswak brings about. Miswak purifies the mouth. Miswak contains cure for every disease except death. Miswak improves eyesight. Miswak strengthens gum. Miswak removes phalgem. Miswak keeps the body healthy. Miswak strengthens the memory. Miswak makes hair grow. Allahu Akbar. Miswak improves the body color. One gets rid of poverty if he uses miswak. Miswak enhances eloquence, meaning ability to express oneself excellently and with intellect. Miswak helps in the digestion of food. Miswak delays aging. Miswak strengthens the back. Miswak enhances intellect. Miswak brightens the face. Miswak removes headache. Miswak removes the harmful effect of excessive bodily fluid and make them excrete from the body. Miswak stops or removes molar pain. Miswak makes teeth shining. Miswak kills germs. It removes bad smell from the mouth. Sometimes bits of food get stuck in between the teeth, which do not get removed only by rinsing the mouth and which cause foul smell in the mouth and illness. The miswak using person remains safe from many illnesses. Research have revealed that there are some germs which are not removed by toothbrush and by toothpaste. They can be removed by miswak. Medical science has proved that miswak strengthens the brain and maintains its proper function. Using miswak also enhances one's intellect and maintains its proper functioning for a long time. If miswak is not used to clean the teeth, they will become dirty, they will become filthy, causing pus to develop in molars and gums, which may cause brain disease. Psychological orders are also caused by it. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, it is appropriate to use miswak made from the branch of a tree whose strands are soft, so that they will neither cause gap between teeth nor cause harm to the gums. The best and high quality miswak is obtained from the tree of pilu or neem, or an acacia tree from that plant of oleander. The miswak of pilu has soft strands containing calcium and phosphorus. It grows quite often on barren land and in deserted areas. New scientific and medical research have proved that phosphorus is one of the elements that provide nutrient and help to the brain. The phosphorus found in miswak of pilu reaches the brain through saliva and pores, giving energy to the brain. The miswak of neem tree is also beneficial as it contains cure of all diseases related to the teeth. This tree is very commonly found. After neem, the miswak of acacia tree is beneficial. It cleans the teeth thoroughly and protects them from bad smell and pus. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, worldly benefits are on one side, but the use of miswak pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, pleases our Creator, pleases Rabbul Alameen. And what can one ask? Our life in this world is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have one aim in life, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, and die in the state of Iman. Using miswak gives us all of this. It attains the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It pleases Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, because we are following the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, and it will remind us our kalima at the time of death. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability, give us tawfiq to follow this beautiful sunnah and adopt miswak. Ameen. Bijahin Nabil Ameen. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
Oh Allah, reform my heart, take my hand, guide me all the way, all the way. Oh Allah, reform my heart, take my hand.